G'day everyone, welcome to the Poker Pulse podcast, episode 4. I'm Craig Abernethy, founder of the Australian Poker Schedule, and once again I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, poker dealer, poker player Catherine Young, who's just got back from Poker in Paradise in Sydney now, I believe. How are you, Cathy?
I'm good. Good to be here. It's so good to be back. I just got back from Paradise, just got back from the Ville, and very excited to be doing a recap of that today.
I saw you got to play up there. Were you mainly dealing or playing or just chilling out in the sun?
That one I do a little bit of both. Like I like to go up to the Ville purely as a holiday, playing a bit, and then I deal a little bit to have my rake back, I guess. But yeah, I played. Wasn't amazing for me this time around. It's probably the first series where I ran as badly as I did, but no, it was still great. Still great to be out in the sun and enjoy the pool and the poolside cocktails.
Yeah, no, it looked like a lot of people had a lot of fun up there. I saw a lot of familiar faces. It looked like huge numbers up there. So that looked really good. And once again, we're joined by our resident professional poker player, Troy Mclean, currently traveling in the Asian poker circuit. He's also had a few holidays among the way and lots of Aussies as well. So how are you today, Troy?
Yeah, pretty good. Just here in Manila at the moment at APPT.
That's the PokerStars Championship, yeah?
Yeah. So, no, it's been really good. The series that they run here is phenomenal. Can't fault it. Treated like royalty. It's unreal.
Yeah, we should mention too, overnight, we had another win in Asia as well, in Manila. Jennifer Castle, she took down the double stack event, I believe.
She did. About 10, I think. It was 400 and something, 400,000 pesos. So, it would be about 10K, I'd say.
Yeah, $10,808, I reckon, Australian. And then Daniel Nielsen, he won the super high roller over there as well.
Yeah, 12K US. What's that, like 16K Australian buy-in? Yeah.
Oh, buy-in?
Yeah, it's a pretty big buy-in. And then I think Joey Wiseman won the 5K or US buy-in, so it's like a 7K buy-in. And then
Bert Perry, he took down something as well, Troy.
Yeah, I think he won the 150K bounty. I think he won like, I'm not even sure, to be honest. I think it was like 30K AUD, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, I remember seeing a post where you can check all this out on the Australian Poker Schedule, of course. 8 times 50K Filipino peso bounties. So 400K pesos just in bounties.
Yeah, I think
it was about 40K all up that he won.
Yeah.
He won about 8 or 9 buy-ins or something. So, yeah, well done to him. And Matthew Wakeman, one of the OGs.
Yeah, he shipped the opening event. I had a deep run in that as well, actually. I come second in the first event. Third in the first event versus Stephen Chu. He ended up winning. There's a lot of the old school poker pros that are over here, which is pretty cool because I haven't really had much to do with any of those guys. So it's been really nice to get to know like Stephen Chu and Wakeman and a few of those guys. So it's been a really good series so far.
Yeah, it does seem that a lot of Aussies are going over there more and more, and I guess it's because word of mouth gets around, and as you said, they are run really well over in Asia.
So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely well run, and even like the high roller packages that they have here, like so good. Yeah, it's awesome.
I guess the difference is too obviously the costs and things are cheaper throughout Asia, so there is that sort of benefit as well. And one should just also mention to another person I saw heading over there, who's not a player but a TD, and that was Benjamin Young, formerly worked for APL, of course. He's taken an opportunity to go work over at the Vietnamese poker games in Ho Chi Minh City, so he'll be the head of floor over there. We wish him all the best in that as well. Yeah, one of the things I did notice, because I was watching the stream of Bert Perry on Twitch, and it seems a lot of the dealers over in the Asian countries, they wear polo shirts and they look quite comfortable. They're branded polos. So I did notice that.
Yep.
And I noticed you also put up some photos last week or so. You were in Japan with a few of the boys.
Yeah,
Had a bit of fun over
we
there.
had a quick stop in Japan for 9 days, I think it was, and we just travelled around Japan. It was unbelievable, really nice place. And so we've gone from Taipei to Japan to now Manila. So it's been unreal. And APT starts next week, but I think I'm going to come home because I haven't been home. I've been home like 2 weeks since Vegas. So
Oh my god.
yeah, I think I'm due for a bit of an online grind session and catch up with family and friends. So
Yeah, no, I did see some photos there. I saw you seeing the sights. I saw a few costumes, a few whatever you were wearing in the Japanese culture, which was good to see you getting into that. Plenty of
That was
food
great.
and
yeah, no, the food unbelievable. It's just a really cool place. If you haven't been there, I'd seriously go check it out. It's really, really different. Just a different culture. It's like unbelievable.
have you been to any Asian countries, Catherine?
My favorite is Singapore. I always go to Singapore. That's all I've done in Asia, and I didn't go for poker. Don't even really know if they've got any poker tours over in Singapore. Never heard of one there, but Singapore is a checkout place, that's for sure.
Yeah, Asia's not something I've really done much. I have been to Shanghai and China. There's no legal poker there, but I do plan on going over there in the next year or so just to check it out. Looks like a lot of fun, and all the boys always seem to do pretty well over there, so it's something worth checking out, I reckon.
Let's go to Brian Fantana live on the scene with a Channel 4 News exclusive. Brian?
And to watch. The mood is tense. I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this.
Great story. Compelling and rich. Well, that's going to do it for all of us here at Channel 4 News. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter?
Yeah, so we do try and do a fortnightly podcast. This one's a little bit late, I understand, but it has been a pretty busy few weeks with Catherine up at the Ville, Troy in Asia, and I've been doing a few other things as well. It's good to be back doing our episode number 4, but we also have a secret mission that I wanted to talk about for the Poker Pulse podcast, and that is growing the game of poker, getting new people in. So I actually had a look on Australian all-time money list for Hendon Mob, and currently in Hendon Mob there's 21,000 roughly players that have played all time in Australia, and total number of adults over 18 in Australia is 21 million. So that's less than 1%, 0.1% in fact, of adults in Australia play live poker or have a result on Hendon Mob anyway. No, it's 1 in 1,000. I actually read that that's the odds that you have of cracking an egg with 2 yolks in it. So that's the same odds as a random adult you go up to see if they play poker. It's the same odds as someone crapping a double egg yolk. Yeah, we want to improve that. Yeah, I thought that would be a bit of a mission. We try and get those numbers up. Poker is one of the great games that we all love. Wanted to encourage people to get into it. So if you've got any ideas there. One of the things that we did do while we were up in Townsville, didn't we, Catherine? We had a chat to a few players. We got to meet some of them. We asked them what they liked about the Ville. So we might just cut to that.
We are here with Hayley Chiplin. She is from WA, and I have a couple of questions to ask you.
No
So
worries.
number one, you're here at the Ville. What is it that you love so much about the Ville?
Well, there's nothing better than when you bust out of a tournament, but you got this beautiful tropical landscape to come out
That's fair.
to.
Yep.
So it doesn't hurt so much, I guess. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful here. So yeah.
How are you going in poker at the moment?
I've had a pretty good start. The first 3 days I cashed in every event I entered. Yesterday was a losing day for me, but it was still fine. So on the up.
And just a question. So if anyone's looking to get into poker, what's your advice for why you should get into poker, or what's a good reason to really start poker right now?
Look, poker is, it kind of has a bit of everything. So you've got the social aspect covered because you're going to go to a tournament or wherever you are and you get to like meet new people from all walks of life, all different age groups. all different cultures, and you all kind of are there for the same reason, but you're all kind of like unified by the fact that it's just fun, right? Like it's a fun day out or night, whatever, and you kind of get to just, you all want to take each other's money, but in a fun way. Like you just have fun, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's great. I think since I've been playing poker, it's definitely opened up a lot of doors for me too. Even for traveling as well. Like the opportunity to even come here wouldn't have happened if I didn't play poker. So for those reasons, I think it's really great.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of the series.
Thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
That's great.
I'm here with Maddie Jin, who's from Melbourne, and I just had a couple of questions to ask you. So first of all, you're here at the Ville. What's it like? Why do you like coming to the Ville so much?
For sure, it's definitely my favourite stop on the schedule. Definitely make it a must attend when I'm planning out my year. Just like the environment, you get to wake up late, spend the morning by the pool, then grind out some poker into the evening, and then everyone's having a good time. They're having some drinks by the bar, at the casino. Everyone's having a good time. So.
Speaking of, what have you been doing outside of poker? Have you been anywhere? Have you done anything fun at the Ville?
Nothing too exciting. I've been playing quite a lot of poker, which is a good thing. Trying to run deep when I can, but trying to spend some time by the pool in the morning when I can, for sure.
Nice. And if you were a first-time player, why should you get into poker? What's a good reason to give first-time players a reason to play poker?
Yeah, I think that it's a good way to be super social, but also be competitive. It's a real mind game. You sort of get to navigate the fields, but then also, have a good time at the tables as well. So, yeah, that's it.
Nice. Well, thank you. Good luck for the rest of the series. And come on down to the Ville, guys.
Yeah, so it was good to hear from Hayley and Maddie there, Catherine. It looked like it was a nice day up there as well.
Oh, beautiful day. The weather up in Townsville, can't beat it. Thought I'd show that off in the video, show you what it's like up in Townsville and how beautiful it is. But no, I loved catching up with Hayley and Matt, and I couldn't agree more with what Hayley said. I really do feel like poker is about that social aspect, and I love how she said that everyone's united by that same similar interest, and you all come together, and it's competitive, but it's fun. And I think that that is what, she just hit the nail on the head there with, that's what poker is really about.
Maybe you should ask Troy what he thinks about this. What how do you reckon we get new people in? What do you enjoy about poker, Troy? Obviously, you're a poker pro, so you're thinking about financially, but
what I really found is over the last probably like traveling over to the Asian series is like we might not speak the same language. People like can't even speak English sometimes at the table, but we still all understand the game, which is really cool to think about. But I just like the problem-solving aspect. I like the meeting new people. Yeah, it's just there's something for everyone. Even if you're beginning, if you're a pro, it's nice that you can. If you're just starting off, you can play against one of the best in the world. It's not many sports where you can play against one of the best players in the world in your first tournament, kind of thing. So I think it's a really cool aspect of tournament poker, I guess.
yeah, and you touched on the language sort of barrier too, which isn't so much a barrier in traveling to Asia or in poker at all. And as we saw, I think it was last week, Empire Poker, they actually hosted as part of their series the Deaf Poker Association, and they got a lot of the deaf community to come up and play poker, and they've been going around for years and doing that. And it just shows that, obviously deaf's, a communication barrier, but poker is something that the deaf players can play against non-deaf people, and it really just brings people in together. So one community brings a couple of communities together, and Empire's obviously on the golf course too at the Wantima Golf Club, which is where Cameron Smith actually started his golf career. But my point is that by poker getting into that community there as well, now you've got golfers coming in to play poker, and they might reach out and play another series in Brisbane and then travel around. You might see them up at Townsville one day. So poker's amazing like that. As I said, older people can play it. Obviously, younger people, they have to be over 18.
Well, I'd just love to butt in there about something that Georgina organised for all of us at the Ville. Sometimes ladies feel a little bit intimidated at a poker table, and I feel like the fact that she organised a thing, it was called Boozy Brunch, and she put it on for us women. It was like halfway during the tour, and we all just got together, and we weren't talking poker. We were just socialising, and we're hanging out with people outside of the poker community, like just eating a brunch. And I think that that's what's so good about this game is even though at a poker table, you might be fighting up against each other or trying to win a pot against someone, women can sometimes feel intimidated by that, but the fact that we all came together and had that amazing brunch, I think it was beautiful, because it just shows that, like, that's another element of poker that people can join in. It's not intimidating for women if we are all looking out for each other and wanting to invite you all to come join and, like, play a game with us and see what it's like to join in on that poker community side of things.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, a lot of series these days, they do have a ladies' event. Obviously,
Yep.
Townsville did. And the thing that I like about a ladies' event is obviously ladies might go to the series to play that event specifically, but while they're there, they might go, "Oh, that wasn't too bad. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to have a crack at another event now." And it's just sort of another way of growing the game by getting people in a particular type of group of people, and then they get in and they enjoy it, and then they play the open field events, and who knows, some of them go on to win, and there's many great success stories in poker. So one thing that I really want to do in the Poker Pulse podcast every week is highlight some of our new winners, or some of the people that we call in horse racing maiden winners. So there was a couple that happened up at the Ville. Lucas Bryant took home his first trophy in the $350 monster stack, 293 entries, 18K and an APL Millions ticket there. I'm not sure how long Lucas has been playing, but it's his first trophy, and he said he'd be happy to take that back to the family. So I did check out these results, and another one up there was a girl called Sarah Major. She won her first trophy in a $120 turbo deep stack. Again, there was 103 entries in that. You know, she got 2.5K for that, and it was first trophy for her. She's just a marketing professional. She says she's just a recreational player, and she came along after work and she won the trophy. That was really good. Do you remember when your first win was, Troy?
Yeah, I do. My first ever poker tournament that I won, I looked back on my Instagram the other day actually, and it was an APL event, just a pub poker game. That was my first. It would have been 10 years ago now, I think. And then my first actual win would have been at Crown when they were running series, probably 7 years ago now. That's my first.
Yeah, I actually checked it out. 2017, $350 8 game at Crown.
Yeah.
First result on Hendon is a win in a mixed game, 8 game, which is incredible to me. And it looks like you were heads up against David Gore, who's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
Yeah, he won the Aussie Millions. Yeah.
Wow, that would have been literally David versus Goliath battle there.
Yeah, it was actually really funny because I'd never played 8 game live before. I'd only play the $2 online when you could play on PokerStars, and we just played for fun, and that's how I learned how to play 8 game. And then, I ended up actually, that tournament was very strange. Actually, I had gone to the APL States event, and I busted the tournament there, the main event or whatever it is there, and then I caught a train or a tram or something, train I think to Crown, and then late regoed and jumped in and won it, which was crazy.
Yeah, wow. And David Gore is a real gentleman too. He's probably nice to you, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he played well.
Absolute legend.
I remember getting I'd never played before live, so every single hand I'd be like, "How much can I bet now?" It was very funny.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like when you're new to poker and you're a bit nervous about all that sort of stuff, it's important that other people that are playing, that have been playing for years, like all of us and all the players that watch this show, are nice to people like that and encourage them, and ensure that they come back. That's the main thing. How about you, Catherine? Do you remember your first win?
Well, I had kind of like Troy, 2 sort of first wins. I had my first pub game win. That was actually back probably 5 years ago now. It was an APL game I used to play in my league. Just a normal pub game. Coolest feeling ever. Actually kind of solidified my knowledge that I like this game, and I'm gonna keep going with it and see where it takes me. I think that was my biggest problem. I won very early on, and then I just kept chasing that high, because it's such a high when you win something. And then I kept chasing, started playing bigger games. And then my very first trophy win was actually at the Ville. That's why it does have a special place in my heart. I was at the Ville 2 years ago or a year ago now, and I won the ladies event. So the ladies event, which is my favorite game, at the Ville, couldn't believe it. And then literally a few days later at the exact same series, I won my second trophy. So I'd never won a trophy before, and then I won 2 in the same series, and I was like, what best feeling ever. So just chase that. Like, it's such a high, it's such a cool feeling when you win that trophy, and it just makes you realize that, like, you know, this is something that you could be really good at, and it's something that you should just keep going with and seeing where it takes you, because it's not just about the money. It's about that fun side of, like, I won something, and it feels really good.
Yeah, so interesting. Both of your first Hendon Mob cashes are first places, which I thought, yeah, it was incredible. How long had you been playing poker before you actually got that win, do you think? Like, just, you know, casually and socially?
Probably 2-3 years. Like,
Yes.
I started playing in 2018. That was straight when I turned 18. And then I stopped playing during COVID. Then after COVID, I played again. And then, yeah, so probably 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, so you stuck with it, and yeah, you're good to see you got a result in the end. One of my good mates, Bill O'Donnell, he moved up to Brisbane recently from Canberra. He used to play a lot of pool and snooker in the Canberra area, but since there wasn't much around the Brisbane area, I introduced him to poker, and fortunately he's got a club not far from him where he lives in north of Brisbane. He goes to the Empire Poker Room and Wantima Golf Club there, and he's been playing for about 12 months now, and he had his first win the other day too. So it just goes to show that it's something that you can enjoy. If you're competitive at it, you can stick with it, and eventually you do learn and you do win. Me particularly, my first win came back in 2018, and it wasn't my first result on Hendon Mob, that's for sure. But it took me about 5 or 6 goes, but probably a couple of years. And yeah, I won my first event. Was a $55 rebuy event for $1,500 at the Seagull series down at the QPC, and I just remember, I think that was on the Thursday night, and I came back down from the Gold Coast on the Friday, and I walked in there. I had my chest pumped out, and people were congratulating me, like I felt like I was a world champion, So it was just really good to have that. Yeah, really good feeling to have that first win, and then anything can go on with that. Yeah, amazing feelings. Speaking of amazing feelings, winning trophies. Can you believe what happened up at the Ville? A pretty incredible feat, I reckon. The Ville 600 main event, that was won by Tim Bredl, 2023, $600 buy-in, 503 runners, $53,400. So that was last year. This year, 2024, 527 runners, Tim Bredl ships it again. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Have you ever...
Well done.
Have you ever won 2 events back-to-back, Catherine? Like, I'm thinking...
I've won 2 ladies events, but they were not back-to-back, and they were completely different. Like, to win a main event is already hard enough. Like, a main event is just, there's so much variance involved with that. There's so many runners. But to do it twice at the exact same place, what?
Back-to-back years, too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Jungle Man did it in the Players Poker Championship. I mean, I'm not comparing the Ville to that by any means, but that's a 50K. But still, I mean, it's still an impressive effort. Like, people were like winning things back to back. I mean, I might have done it at the local Nerang Community Bowls Club about 5 years ago. There was 20 players, and everyone was half cut or something. But it was a very tough field down there at the Nerang Community Bowls Club. I mean, but yeah, 600 players at the main event and the Ville is incredibly amazing feat, I reckon. So,
100%.
have any of you guys seen the show that was about 10 years ago called King of the Hill?
Definitely heard of it.
I think I've watched a few episodes.
Might be before your time a bit, Catherine, although it sort of aired when I was sort of late in high school and finished up about 2010, I believe. It was a comedy on a family based in Texas, sort of a little bit like, Beavis and Butthead, South Park, sort of Simpsons sort of combination of that. It was quite funny. Wasn't exactly, that politically correct back then. But anyway, I thought I'd do a bit of a parody on that since I've dubbed Tim Bredl King of the Ville. Yeah, so I had a bit of fun there, as you can see, with that King of the Hill spin-off parody for Tim Bredl. And we've already seen Haley Chiplin, his partner, who was featured in that as well. Congratulations to Tim. Amazing effort. And just thought that was worth highlighting. Yeah, unbelievable feat. So just to wrap up on the Ville, Matty Ginn, once again, sensational performance. 3 trophies up there. And Sam Burns went up there as well, the young guy, and he took out the player of the series. So 2 guys that had a really good series as well. Now,
Crazy,
Troy,
crazy that Matty Ginn wins 3 trophies, does not win player of the series. Just insane.
Yeah, I guess Sam Burns just had a lot more final tables, and you don't see all those
He won
other
3
min
trophies
cashes.
as well. Yeah, it's just like crazy that 2 people won 3 trophies. It's just like completely unfortunate.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the WSOP as well with Dean Eggs and Sean Deeb and a few other guys where they've had an amazing series. But anyway, just to wrap up that, really good series up at Townsville. Everyone has a good time. Now, episode 1, Troy, you broke a bit of news to us, and you mentioned something about the Aussie Millions returning. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we sort of went, wow, okay, that's interesting. What
did,
can you say about that? Anything else? Any updates on that?
Yeah, well, it's confirmed April now, so it'll be
No longer a rumor. It is true. What?
broke the news here first, but yeah, I had heard on the grapevine that it would be returning next year, and it's been confirmed now. So it's very exciting stuff.
End of April, May.
End of April, I think. After APO, I've heard, and there was rumor that it might not be a 10K main, it might be an 8K main, but that's still rumor at the moment. I'm not 100% sure. I hope it's a 10K, but it could be changed to an 8K.
Well, you seem to know a lot more than others. You dropped it first, so I'll trust your word right now.
Yeah, not 100% sure. I hope it's a 10K, but I heard last week that it could possibly be a 8K.
Yeah, that is interesting because previously they had a 10K main, and what they did is they ran satellites pretty much every day or every week of the year, and there was that many qualifiers that went into the Aussie Millions main event that what ended up happening is a lot of big prize pool being built in Australia, even from over in America. And we saw Daniel Negreanu and Phil Ivey and Bryn Kenny, Toby Lewis. These types of guys all come over here and had a lot of success. But that was due to the satellite system that they had at Crown.
They are starting to run satellites, I heard. In the next month, they're going to be running like 6 to 7 seats a week. So trying to build the numbers back up for next year.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So they start the satellites now for April, so you've got about 6 months. Should be about half the size as last time, maybe, or a little bit smaller. It'd be interesting how they go the first time. I did like how it was in January previously, sort of Melbourne in summer, in January. There's cricket on, there's tennis on, the Australian Open, of course. Probably one of the best times of the year to go to Melbourne as well. I'm not sure how Melbourne's weather will be like in April, May, Troy.
It won't be too bad. It probably won't be as hot, which might be good. But I have spoken to a lot of people overseas in Taipei and in Manila and everything, and there's a lot of people that want to come back to Melbourne to play the Aussie Millions. So it's like one of the very well-known events overseas. So a lot of these like pros from overseas and a lot of recreationals want a chance to come back to Australia to play these type of events. So hopefully, because it hasn't been running so long, a lot of these recreationals and professional poker players will come over and play these events, and should be really good, I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, I watch a lot of streams, and just about every time I watch a poker stream and there's an Australian on the final table, and I'm talking about whether it's Poker Go on the World Series of Poker or just a podcast like Matt Berkey on the Soul for Why podcast, and they start talking about Australia, they always mention the Aussie Millions. They all talk about it like how much they really enjoyed Australia, and you're right, it was such a major event, and so many pros did love playing it. The last one here was in 2020, I believe, just before COVID. And then that went onto the back of the Poker Go Australian Poker Open that was hosted at the Star. So, and they had a super high roller bowl as well. I believe Poker Go actually came out and filmed that. So, look, if it can get back up and running how it was, that's got to be the goal, because it was an amazing stop on the international poker calendar, not just Australian, obviously. So,
100%.
good luck to them. It'll be interesting to see, as you said, April, May instead of January, but it is confirmed, and hopefully we'll start seeing some satellites coming up soon, and we'll stay tuned to that. I have sent a few emails and some messages through to Crown. I haven't heard back from them yet, but we would invite Crown or anyone involved with the poker there when they can confirm and put anything official out if they want to come on the podcast and talk about it. We'll do that. Might also reach out to a couple of former Aussie Millions champs, get them on the podcast. What do you reckon? We're pretty good friends with a few of those.
Yeah, I definitely know a few.
Yeah,
reach out.
Good mates with Shireen Vijayram and Stewie Scott and David Gore, Troy. It would be good to get a few of those guys on the podcast as well once we've got that going. So we might just talk about what else is coming up in poker at the moment. I've got currently I've been seeing these photos in Adelaide Stack. They're running the the Adelaide Poker Festival. Billy the Croc's 4K. I saw Travis Endersby there win another trophy yet again. Unbelievable. How good is he?
On a roll. Goodness. Congratulations, Trav. I know you watch this podcast, so I just thought I'd personally say congratulations. You are doing fantastically at the moment, and I hope that you're living it up down in Adelaide right now.
Unreal. Congrats.
Yeah.
Some kind of feat.
Yeah, I mean, and Trav's one of the nice guys. Australian Poker. He does his own Twitch streams and does his own little private coaching and all that sort of stuff. So I'm a Travis T. Check him out on Twitch and watch him on Instagram and his socials as well. So we'll put a link up to that. But Travis, well done again. Also currently happening in the WPT Sydney, St John's Park, I think, at the Pavilion Poker Room there. That's been going on. That's where my other half is at the moment dealing. So big series down there happening. Next week, APL PTs at Kedron Park. That's north of Brisbane. It's the first time they've been there. And then we get into the big one, which I think, is that where you're going to be dealing, Catherine, the Sydney Millions in Kings?
Yes, I will be at Sydney Millions after APL. So I go up for APL in a few days, and then the second I get back is the second I get stuck into the Sydney Millions. It's their second year, and honestly, it's looking bigger and better than last year, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, that will be huge. I mean, there's big guarantees on that as well. So, then we've got the WSOP circuit at the Star in Sydney. So you think you'll be heading to that one, Troy?
I'm probably going to be back for a bit, so I'll probably head up for that, and then there's a Crown series, so at the start of December. So actually, really keen to play some events at Crown, back in the like the good old days kind of thing.
Well, WSOP circuit will be good at the start. You'll be able to have another crack at getting one of those rings. I know you went close, or awfully close, heads up, and lost out on the Tagaard.
I get it done a couple of years back, but yeah, that's the plan. Get one of them rings under me belt this year.
They're pretty cool in Australian poker as well. The WSOP circuit ring, obviously the Aussie Millions, they had a ring as well, and that massive Aussie Millions main event trophy, bracelet, I should say, similar to WSOP. So, plenty of poker still happening this year. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out australianpokerschedule.com.au. Check out our social medias as well on Facebook and Instagram. All right, then. Well, we might wrap up the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also listen to the podcast on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and all of your favorite streaming platforms as well. Last week we spoke about high stakes heroes.
Yeah, I actually ran into Vincent. We were playing the main event together, and he said that he was watching that because he listened to the podcast. So it was really cool. to know that people are listening and watching, and then going to watch the high stakes heroes because of us was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the views and the response has been really, really well received. So we appreciate all the feedback. So yeah, keep doing that. Make sure you comment in the chat, all of that stuff. And we'll see you in a few weeks.
Thanks,
Sounds
guys.
good. See ya.